What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the Atlanta Sports Fan Podcast. I'm your man, this time with a plan, but still no way of executing it, Chief Starvey. Today, I want to talk about the Falcons game last Sunday. Boy, did they come out to play. Did they come out to play? Falcons beat the Colts last Sunday 29-10 at Mercedes-Benz Stadium. Moves them a game behind the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in the playoff race, above the Saints. So now we're in second place. But now things get interesting. By winning this game last Sunday, you basically tell the rest of the NFL, hey, I'm here to make the playoffs. I'm here to make the playoffs. There are a couple ways it could happen. Like, there's one way we can win the division and one way we can make the playoffs. They don't overlap. One has to happen or the other has to happen. So, the Falcons, in order to make. Actually, let's talk about the game first. How about the game first? Falcons over the Colts. What a game. What a game. Arthur Smith finally took his head out of his ass, it seems like. Taylor Heineke, 23 for 33, 229 and 6. 92.2 passer rating. Bijan, 12 carries, 72 yards. Bijan led the team receiving too, 7 catches, 50 yards. Bijan didn't score. Algier got in the end zone. KP got in the end zone. Your defense was flying around the field. Caden Ellis got a sack. Richie Grant got a sack. Zach Harrison got 2 sacks. Calais Campbell got 1.5. Ebiketie got half a sack. Jesse Bates with a pick. That's exactly what you want to see from the Atlanta Falcons. This is what I've been preaching. The defense can only last you for so long with no points. What the Falcons did on Sunday is their defense did their job and the Falcons drove down the field and got 6. That's exactly what we needed the whole season. Now, why did it take them to week 16 to figure this out? I have no idea. But with that being said, how can the Atlanta Falcons make the playoffs? Well, there's really only one way for the Falcons to win the division at this point. The Falcons' last 2 games are in Chicago and in New Orleans. Right? The Buccaneers' last 2 games are against New Orleans and Tampa, and then in Carolina. What the Falcons would need in order to win the division, they would need to both beat both the Bears and the Saints, and the Buccaneers to lose to both the Saints and the Panthers. But the Panthers beating the Bucs is insane. I know they beat us earlier, but just the Panthers beating the Bucs is an insane thing to say. So let's say the Panthers lose in Week 18, right? Say the Bucs. Let's say the Bucs win the division, right? The Bucs can clinch it with one win. Their matching number is 1. How would the Falcons need to make the playoffs at that point? Well, you need the Giants to beat the Rams next week. You also need the Vikings to beat the Packers in prime time in Minnesota. 2 things that are very likely to happen. We saw what New York did last night against the Philadelphia Eagles. And then the Vikings are going to come out to play, especially at home in front of that crowd. And then next week, you would need for the Lions to beat the Vikings, which I think they could do realistically. I mean, the Lions are a really good team. The Vikings are the only one who find for something in that game. But I think this will give you'll see a more division rivalry type game here because you have the Lions, the division rival, trying to keep them out of the playoffs. So you would need for Detroit to win. Of course, you have to beat the Saints. None of this happens if the Falcons don't win out. If the Falcons don't win out, then the dream's over. But if the Falcons went out in week 18, the Rams lose to the 49ers. Right? Rams lose to the 49ers, and then you need. Well, that's it. That's all you really need for the playoffs. That's the only thing that would really matter. Lions. I'm putting in like who would make the playoffs at that point. So you would see the Falcons squeak in at the 7th seed. You see the Falcons squeeze in at the 7th seed. That means they would go pretty much. We think into. Let me find out here. Let me find out. Means you would go into San Francisco, renew that rivalry against the San Francisco 49ers in the first round of the NFL playoffs. Because I don't even think if they win. Do they have a game next? What? They don't have a game next week? They do have a game next week. It's against the Commanders. What? Oh, there it is. No, you would either go into Philly to play the Eagles or San Fran to renew the rivalry with the 49ers. Now, who do I want to see? If this happens, who would I want to see? I'd want to see San Francisco. I think that the Eagles are definitely beatable, right? We've seen it in the last couple of weeks. The Eagles aren't as strong as we all thought they were earlier on in the year. But if you look at San Francisco, if you can get to Brock Purdy, right? I have no doubts that Nate Landman, Caden Ellis will do their job to defend Christian McCaffrey in the run game and in the pass game. I have no doubt in my mind that George Kittle will be locked up. I have no doubt in my mind that Deebo Samuel, Brandon Ayuk will be lined up by that bird cage we have as a defense back there. But if you can get the pass rush to a point where you can get to Brock Purdy consistently, Falcons win that game. It's insane to say, but the Falcons win that game. In my mind, there's no doubt about it. Now, the Falcons could jump to the 6th seed. The Falcons could jump to the 6th seed if the Seahawks lose out. So, I'm just saying, you never know how the playoffs are gonna run, because you never know. It's insane to think about it. We've been deprived of a playoff team for the last couple of years now, and now we have a chance to make it. We just have to take advantage of it. If we don't, Arthur Smith's still gone. If we don't take advantage of the situation, Arthur Smith is gone. No doubt in my mind. But that being said, you can only control what you can control. So if the Falcons want to make the playoffs, they have to win out. None of this happens if the Falcons don't win out. That's all I got for today. Hope y'all had a Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays. Hope y'all watched all the games because they were all bangers. That's all I got for today. Make sure to like, subscribe, turn on the post video, smash those in the keyboards, and I will see y'all next time. Peace.